Hello guys, hope this reaches you well. This is the Rug Detective Show coming to you directly from Europe. Right now it's 15:27 right now, so 3:27, so I don't know where you are in the world, but I hope everything's fantastic. So let's get straight to it. If you haven't, please make sure you actually go to Twitter, Detectives Rug, that's the Twitter handle. Make sure you follow us. Also go to YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, follow. We're really trying to build this this community. Now, let's, as we do, go first and foremost to the price charts. So this is the Bitcoin. This is the daily time frame. You can see that price tested 42,000, and then it basically has now been retracing for the last 4 days. Yeah, about 4 days. Yesterday it tested a support line of about 30,000, bounced straight off it, and then it basically closed around 35,800, but now the momentum is still to the downside. We still have this upward trend line in place at the moment, but if it breaks through this level, we could see this 22,000. You know, people are like, oh, 22,000, what's going on? I don't see this as a negative thing. I just see this as, you know, reassessing the price discovery. People bought to the upside, huge move, you know, within the space of like a month circa, where it's literally quadrupled in price, more or less. Yeah, well, 3x, let's just say. Is it? Let's just say from December the 12th, that was about 20, sorry, it's more or less doubled. But if you go back to where? If you go back to September, so last quarter, it's like gone up 3x move. So it's just been phenomenal, 3-4x phenomenal rise. I do see this price moving down, testing this 21 level. Still, it will be a bullish market. It just needs to kind of like flush out all of the weak hands, flush out the people that bought at the right highs, flush out the people that had that, oh yes, Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000. It's going to go to 500,000 this year. I started to even hear on Twitter, it's going to go to 500,000 end of the year. Getting people in who don't have a clear understanding of this specific market. So, and hence the reason what's happening. People, not only that, people are adding huge leverage to their positions. So I feel sorry for those that got in right at the highs, getting flushed out of the market. And you probably may not see these investors, traders again, because obviously having, you know, a sore experience. But I do see the price really breaking through this level and maybe testing 22,000 before continuation to the upside. So that's that. Keep an eye that RSI is looking pretty good at the moment. It's 58 at the moment. Stochastic RSI is now getting to a point where maybe within the next couple of days it could be in an interesting, juicy area of a buy opportunity potentially if it gets to around the, you know, the 15 levels. We'll see how that transpires. Let's take a look at ETH. So Ethereum, see what's happening there in price. So Ethereum really tested just below the 1400, which was the previous high. Bounced straight off that. It was really a solid move to the downside where it tested lows of 900. That was a bit of a heavy drawdown. But its continuation now is looking to retest that 1000 level. If it gets through that, I'm looking at 852. 852 is a previous resistance. Now turned support of a high back in May, so 1st of May 2018. If it fails to hold that level, then I'm looking around the 670 level to hold that to support, and then a continuation to the upside in price. Initially it was undervalued, but now it just seems that it was slightly expensive, and now the price has moved to downside. So let's just see how that transpires over the next few days. In terms of the news, we're obviously hearing the doom and gloom. You know, people saying, oh, you know, Bitcoin's plummeting, it's crashing. If we can just go to this when it's ready to open up. And we had news that it was just saying Bitcoin's plummeting, it's crashing in price. Now it seems that my internet is crashing on me. Extremely slow for some reason. Okay, we'll come back to that chart, but now let's take a look at Ethereum very quickly. Ethereum price recovery in jeopardy after bulls lost a crucial support. So the support was around the 1,100 level. For me, that support is still at 1,000, so we're still above that at the moment. It's only about $20 away from hitting that level, but I do see it can really move aggressively lower, to be fair. Doesn't mean that the bears are taking control, but it would only be a short-term reoccurrence before we see a move higher. So this is something to be aware of. Then let's just take a look. So this is what they mentioned, that obviously what's happening with Ethereum. The on-chain metric reveals high congestion of sellers between 1,100 and 1,170. There's nearly 34,000 addresses previously bought, roughly 5.6 million. So there's quite a lot of addresses around that price point. And I don't know whether they're going to have the appetite to really persevere during a move that might get to like 800, 700, 600 levels, whether they can really deal with that drawdown. So time will tell. So that's in case of where we are regarding the on-chain analysis that they were looking at. According to Sentiment's holder distribution metric, they mentioned that ongoing decrease in number of addresses holding between 100,000 and 1 million ETH. That's interesting. The wells topped out at 161 on Jan and reduced to 158. Although this may seem insignificant at first, the volume moved by these large is usually massive, which explains the rise in overhead pressure in the last few days. So what they're saying is basically that Ethereum wells are losing interest, that there's been a decrease in the numbers of addresses holding between 100,000. So the big wells between 100,000 and 1 million ETH has declined. So there seems to be a capitulation that's taken place where they're offloading some of their positions. We'll see whether this will continue or not in the price. Let's see if we can revert back to this. It's good. So we've got Mike Novogratz basically said that he's sticking with crypto and his Bitcoin tattoo for life. So what they're saying is that ardent fans of the digital currency are keeping their holdings even as speculation rises that the crypto bubble may be about to burst. So this is all doom and gloom. The prices have gone up like 3-4x, and now people are saying that it's a bubble, it's about to burst. Far from that, personally. I don't believe it's going to hit 100,000 within the next quarter or so, but I do believe that it could hit 50 to 60 to 70,000 towards the end of this year. There might be a slow oscillation in price until we get there. So Novogratz has basically said, wow, that's all I can say. Wow, just in terms of someone that put in Bitcoin there, is extremely interesting. And then Novogratz basically said, I said when Bitcoin broke 20,000, made new highs, I'll get a tattoo. And then, so there's still huge enthusiasm that's taking place right now in the price. And then, okay, so this is Novogratz here saying this is a tattoo that he has. Very interesting, this billionaire. So we'll see what happens in the price and take it from there. What I also wanted to really discuss is, as we do Rug Detectives, the scams. Every single day from the altcoins, there's a lot of rugs, there's pools, there's scammers, there's people that are trying to take your money, put money in a pre-sale and it's gone. So we tried to investigate this on a daily basis, but we can't keep up with all these scams that's taking place. What we actually did is we added a list here, just in terms of connected to a Twitter account of all the different projects that we have basically identified prior to it being a scam, and added this here. And just doing some research, Binance basically have come out with their Binance Smart Chain. So basically it's a fast and secure centralized digital asset exchange based on highly performant matching engine built on distributed consensus. So they've got their interesting highlights, such as the BIP2 token, mini BIP2, Peggy coins, proof of stake, BFTs, governance, order book, match engine. So just interesting added value that they can provide to really attract developers to be able to start building upon their stack. But what's really interesting is not just what they're trying to do, and we can actually clearly see it in their price. Coin. So here you can clearly see from where they were. So if we go to a year, you can see that it's just been steadily moving to the upside, which has been very good. But what's actually happening, because of all the rug pulls and scammers, there's been some obviously information that a lot of devs are now starting to build. So a lot of, let's say, devs that have a strong reputation that don't want to rug pull are starting to build on their stack. And also those, and this is a report where Binance recovered over $344,000 from Uniswap exit scam. So there's an exit scam that took place. They basically rug pulled, transferred the money into the creator's wallet. So it was an exit scam, took the money, but what Binance did is they tracked the flow. They basically blacklisted the wallet, and they managed to recover. What did they recover? So they basically recovered 99%. So as you can see here, customer funds, and then we followed the flow of funds from the Uniswap, which included cross-chain transfers from BSC to Binance Chain to Ethereum. We observed a small portion of the scam's funds moved to 2 exchanges, as well as Binance Bridge. And what they did is the scammers converted it to BNB, ETH, and Link. And then what they said is that an analysis of the transfers to the Uniswap allowed us to identify which addresses fell victim to the scam and calculate exactly how much was owed to them. So on the day following the scam, we successfully identified the scammer and made contact with an individual who shortly thereafter, knowing that they'd been caught red-handed, they were quick to cooperate in an attempt to avoid impending consequences, i.e., court, imprisonment, all these things that come with being scammers. And essentially they basically recovered a large proportion of the money. So what's happening is there's going to be more trust. They'll get more traders, investors that's willing to be able to invest in Binance Smart Chain projects, because of the fear, because the assurances that Binance will chase these scammers. But that's not happening with Uniswap. With Uniswap you can be able to set up any project within seconds, list it, offer a pre-sale, raise money, and then you rug pull. So the level of opportunities for scammers to come in is extremely easy, and especially when there's greed, it kind of like involves and attracts investors to put money in because they believe they can make money. So it's watch this space. We could start seeing a transition and a movement from not just developers but investors that will be moving over to invest purely only in projects on Binance, and we'll see how this goes. So anyway guys, if you like this content, please like, follow, and let's keep this going. Okay, if there's any information that you feel we should be able to touch on or focus on, please let me know. I'll speak to you soon.